In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at the screen recording tool called Loom. And this is a great option for you, especially if you're a teacher or a student. It's similar in some ways to Screencastify and Screencast-O-Matic, two other screen recording tools that I've reviewed in the past. But Loom recently announced that they would make their professional version of the tool free for teachers and students, and it's free for life for them. If you're interested in this, just go to the Pricing tab, Pricing button, and then go down and click Free for Teachers and Students. You do have to verify that you have a teacher or student email address, but you simply click here to sign up for free, put in your university or other school email, and pretty quickly you will be approved for the free for life professional version of Loom. Give me a minute to sign into my account, and then I'll show you how to get started using this great tool. Now that I'm signed into my free account, I can easily create a new folder here by clicking, and then I can rename that folder and tap Enter or Return on the keyboard. In addition to setting up folders to store my videos in, the other main thing that we can do from this screen is to record a new video. You can see the button here. You can also see a button here at the bottom. So I'll click Record Video. Now with Loom, you have two options for how to record your videos, at least if you have the Pro account or the free education account. Option number one is to use the desktop app. And if you choose this option, Loom installs on your computer a software program that exists again on your computer, and it's a premier full-featured tool to help you record your videos. If that's what you want to do, click Download App. And I'm going to click that now just to get that process started. But in the meantime, let's look at a second option. And this option is a little simpler, a little quicker, a little easier than the desktop app option. Sometimes having a full-featured software tool is overkill, and you just need a simple way to record your screen. So if that's the case, you might want to install the Google Chrome extension for Loom. In my case, I want both options. If I click Install Extension, it just takes me to the Chrome Web Store, where I can click Add to Chrome, and I need to verify that yes, I do want to add that extension. And by clicking, it has now added Loom for Chrome to my extensions here in Google Chrome. Now, if you don't use Google Chrome much, if you're used to using other browsers, then you might want to just use the downloaded version of Loom. Okay, so now that that's installed, let's go back. I'm going to X out of those additional tabs, and let's take a quick look at each of these recording options. First, the downloaded app. In my case, I'm recording this video on a Mac, and so it downloaded the Mac version of the software. I clicked to open it up, and once it's opened fully, it gives me this option to install. Now this process will be a little different on a Windows computer, but it'll be similar. You'll want to click on the download to get started with it. On a Mac, all I have to do is click and drag to drop that into my applications, and that installs it as an application on my computer. I can X out of this window now. And now if I go up to do a spotlight search, I can search for Loom, and there it is. It's a program installed on my computer. I just clicked on it to open it up. I'll click Open, verifying that I do want to open this even though it came from the internet. Loom wants access to control my events. It wants to record my screen, things like that. I'll have to click OK if I want Loom to be able to record my screen. And then I also need to sign in to my Loom account. Now that I'm signed in, I get a pop-up with some instructions. I can look through these to learn more. I'm going to have to give permission for Loom to access my camera. So I click the button and I get a pop-up. I'll say OK. I'll allow that. I click Next. Now I need to give permission for Loom to access my microphone. I click Allow, click OK. Now this can be a little uncomfortable, and of course only do this if you're comfortable with it, but these are necessary steps if you want to be able to use Loom. Next, I need to click Open Security and Privacy, Open System Preferences, and then I need to, in my case, unlock my settings. And this process will be different on computers that are not Macs. It will look a little different, but there I can see Loom in the list, and I'll check the box to allow the apps below to control my computer. Now I click Next, and again I need to click to open Security Preferences, System Preferences, there's Loom, and I click Next. So those steps really are kind of a hassle the first time you use Loom on a particular computer. Once you've done those steps, you shouldn't have to do them again on that same computer. So it claims I'm ready to record. I'll click Launch Recorder, but I do see this pop up here. Loom will not be able to record the contents of your screen until it is quit. You can choose to quit Loom now or to do it on your own later. So I'll click Quit Now. I'm done with these preferences. So now if I go back and start Loom up again, I'm still signed in and it looks like I'm ready to begin using Loom. Loom gives me 3 different ways to record. I can record my computer screen and also use my webcam to record my face, or I can switch to screen only, or I could do camera only. Notice that I also have options for the area of the screen that it will record. Full screen or a particular window, maybe one app or one software program. And I also have an option for a custom size. Maybe I just want to record that portion of the screen. I'm going to X out of that to go back. And down on my taskbar, I'll click on Loom again to open it up. I'm going to go with full screen. Next, I could select a camera, but in this case, I'm only recording the screen, so I don't really need a camera. But whenever you use Loom, you do need to check this option. This shows the microphone that will be recording your voice, and you can see it's responding to the sound of my voice. But this is simply the internal microphone built into this computer. This microphone would sound okay, but if I click on it, I can switch to another microphone. If you've purchased a microphone or if you have a headset with a microphone, that's probably going to be a better option for you. Finally, I can choose the resolution for the video. Maybe I want it to be 1080p quality, which is basically like watching a Blu-ray, that same kind of quality. Or I could even go up to 4K and lots of other options as well. I'm going to stick with 1080p, click Start, and after a few seconds I get a countdown and the recording begins. Now if I was ready, I could have opened a new tab and I could have gone to a website that I wanted to share with my students, and that could have been the first thing in my video. Again, if I had been prepared to show this right at the start of the recording. And so I could very easily show my students or my audience how to use the Library of Congress in this case. And everything that I do, every click that I make, everything that I say, everywhere my mouse pointer goes is recorded by Loom and will end up in my finished video. So Loom is great for showing students or an audience a website, but it's not limited just to that. For example, I could easily pull up PowerPoint or Microsoft Word or any program, or really anything at all that's on this computer screen, and I could show students how to use it. I could talk about it. Maybe I want to record myself playing a computer game. I could do that. But whatever is shown on this screen is being recorded by Loom. When I'm done with my recording, I can go up here and click on the Loom symbol, and that stops my Loom recording. At this point, Loom is compiling my voice, the mouse clicks, the video, all into one project that will appear here when it's finished. As my video is processing, let me just point out that there are easy ways to send your video. You can copy a link to the video. It's also possible to change privacy options here. Right now, only people with the link can see the video. If I want to change that, I can click to switch to public. My video could show up in Google searches if I set it to be public. You can also click Invite People to put specific people's email addresses into this text box and give them special access to this video. Okay, it looks like my Loom recording is finished compiling. And it's kind of previewing in the background here, but I can click to play it. Now, if I was ready, I could have opened, and I can skip ahead, show my students or my audience how to use the Library of Congress. So there's my video. Underneath the video, notice that there's an option to download a copy of the video to my computer. I can also duplicate this video, I can delete it, and I can share it with this button here. Now, some of these are pro options. You've got to have a pro account in order to do some of these things. Notice that there's also settings here at the right and options for you to edit your video. So when I click there, it gave me settings that I can change for comments, emoji reactions, and other things that I can adjust. I'll cancel that. I do have the opportunity to trim my video. By clicking trim, I can then click start trimming, and I can say, all right, I want to cut out the beginning. I wasn't really prepared right at the start, and so I want to cut out the beginning right up to there. Now you might need some trial and error. You might need to click play a few times to make sure that you got the right area to remove. But once you've set that up, just click remove. And now I've trimmed my video and it will start later on than it otherwise would. Now, of course, I could trim again if I'd like and continue editing until I'm done and then just click publish changes. Looks like it's going to take a minute for that to become fully effective. I also have an option to add a call to action and a custom thumbnail if I want to do that. So this ability that you have with Loom to do some editing, to do some trimming, to change the thumbnail, that right there, plus the fact that educators and students can use the Pro account for free for life, really does give Loom some advantages over Screencast-O-Matic and Screencastify. At this point, I do want to also show you the Chrome extension version of Loom. When I clicked here on the Loom symbol, it opened up this pop-up here, and I need to click to enable microphone access, and I'm now ready to start using Loom. Now the reason that was so easy and smooth for the extension version is because I had already enabled Loom using the desktop version. So those of you that don't end up with the Pro account, you will probably need to enable screen recording, enable microphone access when you use the Chrome extension for the first time. And so be patient, you'll get a series of pop-ups and you'll need to enable each one. You can see the Chrome extension version of Loom is limited compared to the other version, but that's okay. I can record the full desktop or just the current tab in Google Chrome. There are some advanced options below if I want to change some of those options. Again, it's important to check to make sure that the proper microphone is enabled, and then just click Start Recording. Do I want to record the entire screen or the application window? In my case, I want the entire screen. I click Share, and I should be able to record my screen. Notice that I can also click here on the Chrome extension, and it does bring up some options here in the lower left. I can start my recording, I can cancel the recording, or pause it. So I think Loom is a really promising tool for screen recording. I hope you found this tutorial to be helpful. If you did, please like, follow, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, click the bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll be notified whenever I post another video. And please consider supporting my channel through my Patreon account, and you'll see a link to that in the description below.